You're watching a different show. It's donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. That's right. This is it. This is it, you guys. All of these shows, all of these months, breaking it all down, really from blue and gold. You know, you had the end of the last year, then you had blue and gold. Since the second blue and gold ended, this is the show we've all been waiting for. We've been checking days off the calendar, months off the calendar. You've all been sitting there playing this in your mind 100 different times. How could it go? On the good end, what does that look like? Play it out in your mind. On the bad end, what could it look like? If it all goes wrong, play it out in your mind. We're about to find out. We're about to find out. And I'm just really glad you guys have a sense of humor about it. Like you're being funny in the chat. Like it's healthy. I'm glad to see it. Show us your face. We want to see your face. Who said that? You won't see my face. There's never going to be a time somebody puts down where I don't say that. Who said that? You won't see my face. This is it. This is it. And here's where I'm at. Where I'm at is I'm just glad to be able to get data. I'm just glad we're going to get answers. And we're going to have an idea of where we're starting from. How much time you got, buddy? Don't be afraid, Jasper. I'm just glad we're getting data. I can't be the only one that is like burnt out in my brain and my emotions with the Miami thing. Like it's going to feel really good to just get a data set and know where this is all starting at instead of just having a blank slate in a million different questions. So like my brain's getting burnt out. There's only so many different ways you could play this game in your mind. And you could do the what if this, what if that thing. And the keys to the game and this and that. And what's card going to be all that. We just need answers. We just need answers. And we're going to get them. And it's about time. It's about time. Like, I just sit there every day. It's like, oh, I'm going to write another article. Let's do this angle of it. Let's do that angle of it. Let's think of it this way. Whatever. We need to see where this is all starting from. We need to understand exactly what level of effectiveness and efficiency CJ Carr's starting out his starting career as. And I have no idea. And quite frankly, it's taken an effect on my blood pressure and my hairline. I have no idea, and I just need an answer. From there, you'll be so much better informed about how you're going to think of A&M and whatever comes next. But between now and kickoff, man, any scenario you could entertain in your mind is a realistic one. And that's enough to mess with your head, man. It'll mess with your head. So I'm just glad we're finally here and we could get answers. I'm sick of the Twitter back and forth and all the BS and all the crap talking. I'm sick of that. I'm just over it. It's time to see what it's all going to be like. So my question for today is very, very simple. I just want to know final score prediction and how we get there. So type it in the chat. We got a bunch of callers. I'm going to go to you guys. I want this to be about you. You've heard me talk about it 80 different times. I want to hear what you guys think. A final score prediction and kind of how we arrived there. How you think Carr will play. You know, up on the high end, really bad on the low end, or somewhere right in the middle? What do you think? You think it's going to be somewhere where there's some flashes of that greatness, but some missed opportunities? Can he avoid the major catastrophe that would cost Notre Dame a game on the road in a tough environment? That's what I want to hear from you guys. Whatever's in your heart, you've been sitting on this, you've been thinking about this. Let me know where you think it's going to be. I see a bunch of 31-17s, 34-17. 31-17 is popular, man. That is popular. Scooby-Doo needs a stack. I think Carr gets replaced by Kenny. Couldn't all be good. Like, you couldn't log in here today and have it all be positive. Oh, man. You got to wonder what goes on to get us to that point. 34-21. 31-17 is the most popular one. 28-13. Everybody's on 31-17. At least Golden Smitty gave me a stat line. Carr, 15-22, just under 200 yards, 2 TDs, 0 picks. That's a successful first day. That's a successful first day at the office. 48-3. I like that. 41-13, 41-8, 28-10. You guys got Notre Dame winning by a lot. And my question is, how much of that is in your heart and how much of it's coming from your brain? That's the hard thing when you do this. Dividing out your brain and your heart. And that's what I've been struggling with, man, to just submitting my picks to Sports Illustrated. You do a little write-up on what you think of this. And yeah, Sid Irish says, brain, that's a good question, especially for those of you that have been here year-round. 103-0 Irish. I like that, Ryan. I don't know what you're drinking today, but I'm with you. 48-6. We got, man, telling you what. This is stressing me out. You guys, this is stressing me out. All right. Let's get through the introduction. I'm going to do a couple of the chats. I'm going to remind people that maybe missed it, my official score prediction and how we get there. And then I'm going to hand it over to the calls. Okay. As always, thanks for being here. You can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Yanni out as well. 373-12. I like that. That's very realistic. Please, let's talk football. What the hell else? What else do we do here? What else do we do? We always talk football here. What else do you, I never came in here. We're not talking lacrosse. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Email is alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my stupid face. Who could blame you right before the game? That's the last thing you need to see. It'll scare you. It'll scare you. The call-in lines, 312-900-8815. Dial it up, tell Uncle Yanni boy all you've heard and seen. Notre Dame on SI. Read all about it. Something for you every day. Patreon.com/Always Irish. Jack Sullivan and I, we're going to do a full preview for the Patreon. So you'll have that later on a Friday night. You want to be able to ease into this thing and have a little extra content behind the wall there. We're going to have Jack's been breaking down. He's watched every Miami game last year like 10 different times. Okay, so like I need to ask him some more specific Miami questions. We're going to get into that. Promo code ND25. Type it in and make you feel alive. Woo. All right. So let's get into these super chats. Man, this is a big day. This is a big day. Just ND Gal 1313 in honor of AJ Alsey, a true RKG. Notre Dame wins 27-21. That's a very moderate victory for Notre Dame. Very realistic. That's in. A lot of people are picking a lower scoring game. A lot of it on the underside. A lot of people are doing the unders. It's good to see just ND Gal. $5 holler from the dong. Second part of your new uniform should be on Monday. We better see it. $20 holler from my main man. How's it going? Good to feel bad for the Candy Canes getting sacked up by the Always Irish, or the Fighting Irish, rather. Yeah, ex-cons for Notre Dame. I know it's kind of hard when I do is it messing up the vibe when I do, the Catholics versus convicts thing? But we got a couple of our very own favorite callers that are fellow convicts. But I said it before, their convicts are dangerous to society. Our convicts are really good people that just made a mistake. That's all. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like ours just they're on the straight and narrow now. 28-14. Yeah, it's man, I just don't see how ND's offense struggles in this game, even with the new QB, says Brendan. I've been seeing this. I've been seeing more of this as the game gets a little closer. Some people are starting to question how quickly Miami's new defense is going to come together. You get a lot of those new pieces, 19 transfers. I believe they return, 4 or 5 starters from the defense, but so you're going to have a lot of new pieces there. You got a new defense coordinator coming in. And I know that you could fix a really bad defense with some basic changes, usually early in a year. But that's a big question of how put together that whole thing is going to be. And if Notre Dame's able to run the ball and control the clock a little bit and the line of scrimmage, then I like Notre Dame's chances even more. All right, let me check my the call logs here. All right, I got a bunch of calls, so I need to get through my prediction. Shut up, hand it over to you guys. Okay, 20-3. Ooh. You don't even have Miami scoring a touchdown. Now you're talking to Johnny boy. Give it to me dirty. Talk like that. I like it. $22-8. Give me all this. Okay. Here's where I'm at on this. First things first. Let's address this. I swear I'm going to be quick. I want this to be your show today. I've gotten a bunch of messages of people being like, way to go, Boise State. You ruined our strength of schedule already with that god-awful, pitiful performance yesterday, right? And I've had 5 different people message me this on every different thing. I got a bunch of emails. I got a bunch of texts. I got a bunch of DMs all about, way to go, Boise already ruined our strength of schedule. Let me ask you this. I hear all the time, strength of schedule, who you play, blah, blah, blah. ESPN runs the little stat thing that runs the strength of schedule and this and that. And then these dorks in the committee get on there, ESPN once a week. Oh, yeah, we look at strength of schedule, whatever. I hear all of that. And then when it gets to nut cutting time, they don't penalize you if you just win games. So I'm not worried about this at all. Literally at all. I hear all the time, strength of schedule matters, blah, blah, blah. And then I end up seeing the committee just reward teams that have more wins. They don't penalize you for winning. They tough talk about strength of schedule, but at the end of the day, if you have all those W's by your name, they give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm not worried about it at all. And with the strength of schedule thing matters more the smaller the playoff field is. That's where you have to maybe parse between some good teams at who's going to get the 4 and the 5 if it's a 4-team playoff. That's a dynamic where I think strength of schedule actually could mean something. Now, man, if you just win your games, you're going to be fine. So I'm not worried at all. Look at it the other way. If they suck, then you could get a home win. But I'm not worried about the strength schedule thing. I hear about it all the time. They talk about it all the time. But I've never seen them leave a team that was 11-1 or whatever out and go, they didn't play enough good teams. Sorry. So whatever. So I ain't worried about it at all. Instead of looking at it as a negative, look at it as a positive and say, well, it looks like we should be able to beat them easily then. So I don't know, whatever. But that was a rough go for them, man. That was a rough go for them. And so it's whatever. The Indiana strength schedule is worse than the Little Sisters of the Poor. Signetti will be telling you they're playing in the Super Bowl every week and they deserve the number 1 seed. And all we do is beat the top team's ass. That guy is on my list of people I do not like because he just hasn't earned the way he speaks. He doesn't have the credibility to speak the way he speaks. And it rubs me the wrong way. Zero humility in that guy. I don't like him. Oh, I got my glasses. I'm a tough guy. Indiana, ooh, we have candy cane pants for basketball. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, we deserve all this respect. Bro, you've scheduled half your schedule as high school teams. Are you outside your mind? Get a grip. Get a grip, bro. Here's my prediction for this game. Let's get into it, and I'm handing it over to the callers, okay? Notre Dame has a huge quarterback question. Everybody knows that. It's the storyline of the game. Yeah, tell me about it. The bingo card is on fire today. Chad Bowden surfs up. I haven't done that one. Somebody needs to claim the quarterback competition. I guess we could cross that one off the list, right? We figured that one out. It's very telling based on what's on the sheet when it was made. Oh, man. That's funny. All right, here's the deal. Then we get to the calls. Notre Dame, the biggest question of this whole thing is how on both sides of the ball. The biggest question is, how is CJ Carr going to handle the environment? I want to be very, very clear. I do not have questions of like, I wonder if CJ Carr can make all the throws I need a quarterback to make. Nope, I don't have that concern with him. My concern is exclusively with how he handles this environment. I cannot think of a more chaotic one to make your first start. Going to be loud, going to be hot, going to be a rowdy crowd, game you got to win, standalone TV window. You know it. We've been talking about it forever. You all know it, okay? So when you look at both Miami and Notre Dame, the number one biggest question across the board in this game is CJ Carr. So I recognize the quarterback question is a huge determining factor here. We talk all the time about quarterback being the most important individual position in all of sports and how much it moves the winning and losing needle, okay? We talk about that. I acknowledge all that. I acknowledge all of that. Okay. I still think overall Notre Dame's a more mature football program and has a more stable and established winning culture. I think the defense and the O-line carry Notre Dame to victory. I have a 28-20 score. I have a 28-20 score. It isn't going to be easy. It's going to be tough, but I got Notre Dame 28-20. Okay. Carr, my prediction, not off to the races, no rookie moments. Everything's beautiful and perfect, but not a disaster that loses you the game with multiple pick sixes or whatever. Somewhere right in the middle is where the odds of this have got to be. Somewhere right in the middle. Okay. And so I think you're going to see some flashes of that greatness and why that recruiting rank and people think what it is. So you're going to have that. I think we're right in the middle. So I think you're going to see some missed opportunities there, like a couple things where maybe with a little more experience, you would hit it. But you're also going to see some throws where you're like, ooh, yeah, I see it now. Like those little flashes. Okay. So I think he ends up right in the middle. And I'm fine with that. And right in the middle is winnable for Notre Dame in this game. So I think the defense and the offensive line leads the day. I fully acknowledge the risk of quarterback. I fully acknowledge if that goes wrong, Notre Dame could be in for a rough night. But I believe the Notre Dame program is more mature than Miami. And a game like this is where I think you start to see the payoff from all of the growing pain years of the Freeman era. Building that roster depth, getting more raw talent, some of that. I think athletically, Notre Dame is being under-respected a little bit. So I don't think it's easy, but I think the parts of this program that are more mature are going to carry CJ along and help. I think that depth and that culture are going to help win the game. Does anybody see a higher scoring game? That is a question I have. A lot of people taking the under, have a lowering scoring game, nobody reach at 30. Does anybody have a higher scoring game? And what does that look like? Miami's defense is a mess and all the scoring's on our end. Like, I'm just wondering what it looks like if we're going to do that. So That's what I got. 28-20, the Notre Dame defense and the O-line help Carr along, and you get some kind of mixed reviews there from him, but like doable for a first game. 31-17 is by far the most common score. That is the most common score. Yeah, the weather. Is it going to rain or not? I've been seeing mixed reviews. Is it going to rain or what? Is it a run game, a hurricane game? What are we going to be seeing here? So, that's what I got. 28-20. I want to know if anybody sees higher scoring if it doesn't rain. This is just one game, but it feels like way more than that. Do you guys understand what I mean? It's one game, but it feels bigger than that. It's the first measuring stick for Carr. Playoff implications for Notre Dame as an independent. You saw how hard it was to make the playoff with a loss in week 2. Try doing it in week 1. You felt like you had to win every game from week 2 on to be in good playoff position. Try lose at week 1. You make it even harder on yourself. Like the vibe around the program between the end of A&M and the 2 weeks leading, or the end of Miami leading into A&M for 2 weeks. What's that vibe going to be like? Well, it all depends. If you win the game, no matter what happens with Carr, people are going to be in a good mood. And if you lose it, my life's going to be an absolute dumpster for the next half a month. And we're all going to sit here together and be miserable. And it's going to affect the way the fan base interacts at A&M, because you're going to be excited to be back in Notre Dame Stadium, but there is going to be an anxiety cutting through the air that you'll be able to breathe in and feel. I've been to a million Notre Dame home games. I know the vibe. It's like, well, we kind of hope things are going to go okay, and we're excited to be here, but you will be able to feel an undercurrent of anxiety of like, we cannot go 0-2. You're going to feel that. You got to avoid that. You got to beat Miami, and then everybody's flying high, and that crowd is just banging for A&M. So it's one game, but it feels like it has outsized importance for what this is all going to be like for Notre Dame on the Carr front, on the playoff front, on the momentum and the perception front. There's a lot on the line, folks. There's a lot on the line. Okay. All right. I got a bunch of callers. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pop in our city cheers and kind of create a divide here in the show, a little structure. When I come back, we're going right to the calls. Get to your point. We got to bang through as many as we can. I'm going to shut up and let you do it. Every dollar matters when you run a club, bar, restaurant, or country club. Lost tabs, slow payments, and walkouts cut into your profits fast. That's why venues trust the City Cheers app. With City Cheers, guests can receive promo details for your upcoming events and open and close their tabs right from their phones. Payments are instant, your walkouts will drop, and your team saves time with fewer card runs and less hassle for everybody involved. Managers get real-time reporting and transaction tracking, so you know exactly what's happening on the floor, from sales to staff performance. Servers can handle more tables with less effort, boosting check averages and increasing their tips. And when your staff works smarter, not harder, morale goes up, service speeds up, and turnover goes down, creating a smoother, more profitable operation every single night. Protect your profits, empower your team, and simplify your business with City Cheers. This app is built for venues that want to win. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level, call friend of the show and loyal Notre Dame son, Tom Frawley, at 773-332-7742 today. Be sure to tell him Always Irish sent you. Chicago's very own, and he's on hold. He's going to drop some bombs on you. He's on hold. Tom's gonna let you know what it is. All right, let's get into this. We're going 5 minutes or less. Get to the point. I want to get as many people in here as I could possibly get. Let's start off with Tim. What's going on, brother? I want to get as many people in.
Hi, John. Prediction. 20. Not much. 28-17. How we get there is. Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, turn yourself down.
Yeah.
It's already, Tim, it's already bad enough to hear me once. I don't need to hear me twice.
Or me either. How we get there is no pick sixes. He's going to probably turn it over once or twice. No pick sixes and no turning inside the red zone. So that's like 2 turnovers. So let's say we're having a long sustained drive. We're inside the 12-yard line, and he throws a pick. So you can't have that. And I think we need one score off to either the defense or special teams.
Yeah, I like that. So what was it? 28-17 you had?
Correct.
Yeah, and I don't know how I fell on 28 as well. I see a few different roads to get there. One of them includes a short field, a special teams play, the defense setting you up, with a short field, something like that to help the offense out. But yeah, I landed on that 28 number. It's going to be a tough night no matter what. Even if Notre Dame's playing well, it's going to be a tough environment. Yeah, and I like your road. I like your road on how we get there. Tim, do you agree with me? Defense and the offensive line are keys to this win.
Oh, yeah. And one other stat I'll throw out. We need to rush to close to 200 yards. If we don't, this could go back into the Kelly era where we show up in a big – and I don't think that's going to happen. We show up and we run for 46 yards. That happens, we're going to get run off the field.
Yeah, and I'm starting to see more questions closer to the game than I did a couple weeks ago about Miami's defense and how many changes they have with the personnel and the coaching and how quickly that's all going to get put together, gelled, and up to speed. Maybe Notre Dame could take advantage of that. Tim, I got to remind myself, Notre Dame isn't the only one with a lot of question marks entering this game. Miami has many as well.
I agree. The only other thing, and I won't tie up much longer, the only other thing I ask our fan base, and I know what's going to happen, let's not crucify Marcus Freeman for God's sakes if we do lose this game. Come on. You know that's going to happen, but let's let this play out. Look what the man's been able to accomplish so far. So let's see how the game plays out.
Tim.
We may have to take some lumps this year. I hope not. I really hope not.
Tim, you know how this is going to go.
We may be a year away because
you know how this is going to go. If they lose this game,
no matter
what it looks like, if Notre Dame loses this game, it's going to be a rough 2 weeks for everyone in Notre Dame land. And I am resigned to that. It doesn't matter how it goes. If you lose, it's going to be a tough half a month.
And I'll end my call by this. One, go Irish. But the other thing I want to ask you, because you conceded to this, and I agree with you, unfortunately, my other arch-hated rivalry. Do you think – I kind of agree with the point because I don't have an intelligent argument to come back at you with. Do you think we concede to USC?
I do.
I think that's a joke. We got to concede to them.
I do think we concede, and the reason is they're presenting this forward, kind of putting the ball in Notre Dame's court. And then you kind of back Notre Dame into a corner where if Notre Dame doesn't make it work, now USC can flip it and say, we offered to bend and change our scheduling to accommodate Notre Dame. They're the ones who don't want to play us, right? So, I think it's smart by USC to do this because now the ball's kind of in Notre Dame's court to make it work with the schedule or not. And I don't think Notre Dame and Bavacqua want to look like the ones who are bowing out. So I would guess somehow Bavacqua ends up making it work.
No, you're right. You know that rock thing is in my dad's generation? That always was the last game of the year.
Yeah.
No matter where it was played, and then USC complained about the damn weather.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So
until we get this stuff.
Yeah, that's how I see it going. And I understand if they want to get it in before they get into heavy Big Ten play. But I think it'll happen. And you can't let it look like the ball was in your court and it doesn't continue.
Well, that's point. How's that our fault? We didn't pay to join the Big Ten.
I know.
It's the same thing. How do we get penalized again? What are we, just a good Christian school? That we get penalized by Miami because they can't do basic math.
Yeah, exactly. I know. But I think Notre Dame will do it because they want to keep it alive. And I think it's a priority for Pete Bavacqua. Tim, relax. Watch some good football tomorrow. Watch Ohio State, Texas. Root against Kelly. Root against Kelly, and we'll have ourselves a day.
All right, take care. God bless. Everybody have a safe weekend.
Oh, have a good one. Oh, look at that, you guys. Literally 5 minutes and 1 second. That is called radio discipline, my friends. That is called radio discipline. Let's bring on somebody we haven't heard from since December. 832. What do you want to do? If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. Todd, I see you. It's been a while for you too. 832. What's up?
Not much, my friend. I'm excited about football season kicking off. Obviously, we're just days away, and my prediction for this one is going to be 28-14. It's going to be tight to the end, and I think we'll have a couple touchdowns by our running backs, and then I bet Malachi Fields will make his presence known. He'll have a touchdown, I think, in the game. The one touchdown pass that I believe Carr is going to make. And then, like the previous caller said, there's going to be a special teams touchdown of some sort or defensive touchdown that's going to happen. That's going to flip the game and makes this into a 2-score match at very late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just see. I just feel like Notre Dame's going to get a boost somewhere, whether it's like a strip sack that sets you up on the 10-yard line going in, or a special teams play, or, an interception run back, like something to help a short field for Carr in that offense to gain some momentum. And I don't know where that comes in the game, but I want to see it. Or I'm saying I think it. Maybe it's just that I want it. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to that idea.
Well,
I'm open to that.
Well, and the other thing to look forward to is the we're talking about the Carr and Minchie and all that stuff in the unknown. Obviously you've been seeing on a couple different platforms that even our kicking game that we have for field goal kicking has been not what we've been accustomed to.
I've heard they have questions with that too on their side. And I think they feel a little worse than we do. I don't think they can rely on their guy, so I don't know what you're going to get there. And I'm damn glad you brought that up, by the way, how important special teams are. We all want to worry about Beck or Carr and all the flashy, quarterback stuff. You got to have good special teams.
And that's where I think maybe a block would come into, because they're still trying to figure out who's their starting kicker on their side. They got a guy that came from Texas that was about 50%, from 40 and under, and then he was even less than that when it was 40 and over. So, it makes you wonder how that's all going to work out. But that would be a kind of a key area where I think our special teams can take advantage of.
Yeah, it's man, do you agree with me that, by the way, it's good to hear from you, man. It's only been like 6 months. It's good to hear from you longer. Do you get what I say when I say I think the Notre Dame program maturity and culture can help get this one over the finish line? So, I think Notre Dame should be further along in getting this program situated with the new coach than Miami is. And I think that can support the young Carr as he gets it running. You know what I mean? That makes sense to me. I'm a believer in that. Maybe now you get the payoff for those hard years of flipping the roster and building depth and getting more talent. And I think those parts of the program that are more mature can help carry Carr along here.
Yeah, I think what happened even just in the offseason, look at it. I think the number that I read was Miami had to bring in 16 transfers. Whereas for us,
I think it was 19. I think they ended up with 19 transfers. Yep.
Yeah. And we didn't have to really, we had a few transfers, but not many that came in, and we didn't have really anybody that left. So the turnover right there, other than obviously, your normal seniors and the ones that go to the NFL, but anybody that could stay wanted to stay. And so that way you have that depth and stuff like that. Yes, Miami is probably really good all in their first string and maybe halfway through their second string. I think we're good, not just in the first string, second string. I think we have a strong third and fourth string behind that, some of those certain key positions.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame is a lot more deeper and athletic than I've seen them in the last 30 years. I think that really should help you in a hot, steamy, humid environment, whatever. You could rotate some guys on defense without drop off, keep guys fresh. I genuinely want to see all of that work that is grind work behind the scenes, flipping that roster year to year to year. This is where it needs to pay off in this kind of dynamic and lean on those parts that you worked so hard to get them where they're at. And it's been a rough, rocky road. Now's the time you reap the benefit of that. I need to believe it, and I need to see it.
Absolutely, 100% agree, and that's what I'm looking forward to seeing that depth. And I imagine we're going to see even a few freshmen that we probably weren't expecting to see in this game that could have some key plays. So,
yep. Man, I like it.
I think Madden Ferramo, he may have a moment or two in the game where you're like, why isn't he playing more?
Yeah, it's good to have a lot of talent, more talent than you have spaces for them to all get equal snaps. Hey man, thanks for getting back in the mix. Feel free, man. I love people getting back in the call log here. Call again, save the number.
Absolutely, and sorry it's been so long. My work schedule changed up, and so I haven't been able to be around live. I've just been listening to a lot of your stuff recorded, unfortunately. So.
Hey man, you got to do what you got to do. I can't blame anybody for being a working man. Thanks for jumping in when you can, brother. Enjoy the weekend of football.
All right, thanks. Bye.
See ya. How much time you got? He's got enough time to give me a call today. It's really quite nice. Really quite nice. Todd, what's going on? It's been many years. We got the regulars coming up, trying to bump into people we haven't heard from in forever. What's going on?
Hey, not much, Johnny, my lad. I think you wanted the weather forecast, right?
Yeah,
well,
what do we got?
Sunday,
I've been hearing this. Are we getting rain or not, or what?
Well, it shows 55% chance of rain, humidity 70%, wind 5 miles per hour, with thunderstorms and lightning. So we have to remember we got a grass surface here. Who's the advantage go to? The receivers. They know where they're going. The DBs don't. How well is our footwear going to work on those surfaces? They can go in and change. They got everything there. They're the home team. So we gotta be prepared for that.
Todd, you know what I don't like? Don't do this whole game one lightning delay. Like everybody's got to clear the field and you got to wait an hour. I'll be doing the post game show. The sun will be coming up. It's like 5 a.m. Like don't do that to me. My nerves can't handle it. I'll have another stroke. Come on.
I'm telling you that. So one of my big concerns is ash is not golden. Give you a quick example. Greg McElroy was on doing preseason stuff. And he talked about how they would sit down and they'd talk to everybody before a big game. They talked to Golden. Golden would tell them, this is how it's going to go. This is what we're going to do. This is going to be the reaction. This is how we're going to counter. He says, every time we talked to this man, the game went the way he said it was going to go. And I thought, is Ash like that? Is he a guru? We don't know. How much hands-on has Freeman had with him behind closed doors, you know?
Yep.
And how much because Marcus is a defensive man. So the other thing is, which I thought was nice, we did get some kudos on. I watched one other program, and it's called Inside College Sports, and it's got that Adam Zucker, Aaron Taylor, Rick Neuheisel, Brian Jones, and Randy Cross. Brian Jones said this: the best running backs in the country at Notre Dame. They said they got Love, they got Price, and they got Williams. He says they got the best, but everybody's concern was Aaron Taylor picked Notre Dame. The other three, their concern was how well is CJ Carr going to handle this.
Yep.
Here's what you have to think of. This kid has been around football since he was in the womb. His grandfather was Lloyd Carr. Do you think he hasn't talked to his grandson about don't make the moment too big, play within yourself, just be a player on the team, just do what's required of you, don't try and win it by yourself? He's heard this. I mean, come on, you got to think of the background of the kid here.
Yeah.
So for him to think it's too big of a moment, I don't think that's going to affect him, because his grandfather's probably given him examples where I thought it was too big, or here's what happened, or here's how I blew it when I was coaching. Yeah, it's his grandfather. My gosh, he won a national title. So I'm not too concerned about him making it too big, but I don't see a high-scoring game. The reason is, if it's going to be rain, it's going to be like I said, grass surface. How bad's the field going to be? And true, it's a professional field, and it has special care. But what are we going to see with all the rain? So I'm looking at something maybe 28-21, maybe 28-20.
Yeah,
But
that's where I landed. I landed on 28-20. That just kind of I messed around with a couple different score combos, and after sleeping on it, I landed on 28-20.
And I'm thinking about Beck. You put some pressure on this guy. He got injured. He got injured last year. He doesn't want another injury. So if you can rattle him a little bit and make him think, man, these guys are coming. And in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I get hurt again, what's going to happen? I want to be a professional quarterback. And so I look at it from that standpoint that you can't put too much pressure, I don't think, on Carr. I think the whole key is going to be we're leaning on our running game, and our line's got to control the line of scrimmage, and we got to blitz back at the opportune times and put pressure on them. But my big concern is our DBs and the footing they're going to have on that field. But then again, how about the Notre Dame receivers? They're also going to know where they're going, and their DBs aren't going to know. I mean, you're going to have to react, and is the field going to support that? Is the turf going to give way? So I think we're leaning heavily on a run game. We're going to pass when we need to. He might take a few shots downfield, but I think it's going to be more or less like a West Coast offensive game because of the surface.
Man,
I think it's going to be.
I'm just ready to see. I'm just ready to see what we're going to get, man. I'm just ready to get the data.
Well, here's what I'm excited about. We know the offensive backs coach loves to run both guys at the same time. So my question is, what are they going to do if Love is in the slot? Now, you can't cover that guy with his speed with one person.
Yeah.
You aren't going to. They're going to have to double him. So now you got the option. Love goes out. He draws the attention. Maybe you run something to the other side, a little screen to Price, or you run a draw, or you run something to Price where he runs. When you got both of them on the field, you've got a problem. And the problem is if Love's in the slot for them. That's going to be the concern.
And I think Denbrock's going to dial some of that up. Find ways to confuse and to get Carr, get the ball to Love in an easy pass and let him do something with it afterwards. That's what I'm looking at too. Hey man, I really appreciate you jumping back in the calls. It's been a while. I'll look for you on the post-game show. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey Johnny, one last thing. You got to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. That's why Love's going to see it a lot.
Yeah,
he's going to see it a lot.
I'm with you.
Okay,
I love it.
Have a blessed day.
Enjoy all the games tomorrow, man. It's good to have big time football back. Enjoy it. Take care now. How much time you got, buddy? Mark with glasses. What's going on?
What's going on? Yeah, the shortest off season that seemed like the longest is finally over.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Mark, I got to start with this. I saw your chat earlier where you were like, that quarterback thing ruined my whole summer. We didn't even go on vacation because I was too nervous about it and couldn't relax.
Yeah, we didn't.
That is that is some John Kennedy. That is some John Kennedy level Notre Dame anxiety. And I respect it, but I hate it for your family. It's not healthy.
Yeah, well, some of that's partially tied to broke as a joke, but yeah, with this game, the only thing that is cause for concern, in my opinion, and most obvious, is the QB experience disparity with them having a year 5 quarterback from a football factory and having, all that experience versus a rookie that just won a job 10 days ago. I think that is significant. And, Beck's stats, if you look at them, we haven't had a quarterback have 2 consecutive seasons like he's had since Brady Quinn. So he's, for all intents and purposes, like almost a professional quarterback with kind of being able to run an offense. Having said that, I think TJ Carr is going to look the part. I think he's going to be better than advertised and everything. And I think there's something to be said about, it's kind of like everyone is calling him the anointed boy or, golden quarterback and all this stuff. And he had to work his ass off, come back after injury. He couldn't throw for however long. with his elbow, and then he's in a quarterback competition, and to win it, to come back and win it, I really think that's something there, and I think he's going to surprise people. But the second thing I want to talk about is coaching, and what's interesting is Mario Cristobal was hired just 3 days before Freeman was. So, the comparison of 3 years. And, Mario's, we all know, is 12-12 in the ACC, but what if I told you Freeman is 12-2 versus ACC?
Yeah.
And a third of those games are ranked opponents, so it's not like garbage ACC, kind of games. And I think Miami is not as far as people are pretending, and I think they were in a worse spot, obviously, when he took over. But prior to Cristobal being there, they were the 3 years previous. They were 16-9 in the ACC, so he hasn't exactly kind of been doing the best job. And it was just interesting to track the two. But I'm so excited to get these Hurricanes off of my algorithm on Twitter.
Yep.
And that jackass the other day with his rap, and he's punching and knocking out the Pope. I'm so sick of this fan base.
Yep.
And he said they don't care about the national champion runner-up, but we're supposed to care about the Pop-Tart Bowl runner-up.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But,
I know. And it's so annoying. It's so annoying because after this game, they all go back to python hunting in the Everglades, and they're never going to show up again on a Saturday. It's just, it all rubs me the wrong way because they're all in for this one, and then they're not going to care for 11 more weeks.
They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. They haven't beat a ranked team in 2 years. And I just don't understand. They collected a bunch of wins versus a bunch of garbage. But I had 31-17. I predicted from my garage a couple weeks ago. And Miami's one of the worst teams in the country against the spread. Only 12 teams are worse than them since Mario's been there. And we all know Freeman's the best against the spread. So take Notre Dame, take the points. I'm predicting a punt block. There's only one team had blocked more punts than us last year. So look for a punt block. And
Bryson Young, long and strong, baby.
Tim Hyde. Shout out to Tim Hyde and 31-17. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem. Anything on the way out? I feel obligated to ask.
No, nothing on the way out. I'm trying to get under 5 minutes.
Oh, you're right at 5 minutes. Good job. Let's hang up on you. Man, we got good radio discipline this year. We're doing better with this. 724, you're coming up. It's been a while early in the summer since we heard from you. Chicago's very own Tom Frawley. I'm sure he's got something for the class.
Yeah, I'm going to be quick, John, so everybody can get in. So get your pencils and scorecards ready. First picks. I love Clemson in a close one. I think Clemson will cover by 4. If it goes to 4.5, then bet the money line. But I like Clemson. I like the quarterback. I like the fact that it's in Clemson. I like Dabo. That defensive line of Clemson's is phenomenal. And I think they're going to give Nussmeier all he can handle. So that's why I like Clemson. I like Alabama big in that game. So take Alabama, lay the points. I love when I don't love, but I like Ohio State in a close one. I think it's just the home field advantage, and until somebody can figure out Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, I still think I'm not buying all the Texas hype just quite yet. They lost a lot of guys. I know Ohio State did too, but they're returning a ton of great ball players, and they've got great offensive line. So, and then now for the big one, for the Fighting Irish. Well, I had to amend it. So to the previous caller who was talking about the weather and the turf, Well, I did a deeper dive. West Palm Pat helped me out with this yesterday. So they are on Bermuda grass, and they have the proclivity to change that field quickly. They do it about 8 to 10 times a year. Well, guess what? There's a ball game tomorrow night. Howard University is playing Florida A&M on that same field. So it's probably going to rain tomorrow and tomorrow night. So they'll probably install a new field of Bermuda grass, and I have to get that verified. So that is going to be a factor. The humidity is going to be a factor. That amends my score. I like the Irish 27-20.
There you go. Okay. So, right. And that's close to where I had it at 28-20. That is close.
I just think, I just think because of the humidity, that's going to play a factor, right? I do think there's enough there I think CJ is going to avoid mistakes. They will, he is going to be able to gash their cornerback. There's one cornerback, Keontae Scott, who is going to have the assignment of actually covering Greathouse and Faison when they're in the slot. They're going to bring over a linebacker and probably a safety to shade Malachi Fields. That's what they like to do. That's what that defense likes to do. They'll shade over there. That means we could burn them on the inside. So I look for something like that. And, of course, just protecting the ball. They don't have to do anything fancy. Protect the ball. Get out of there with a win. Cover the spread. And bet the under. That's the Irish.
Oh, man, I like it, Tom. I like it a lot. And that was going to be my question for you is what would you expect from Carr? You think somewhere in the middle where you see some flashes, but also a couple missed opportunities, but nothing catastrophic? Is that kind of where you're going to fall?
Here's the thing, we don't know. Again, if that ball is hot, if we do get scattered thunderstorms during the game and that ball is wet, I don't care if if the ball's wet and heavy. He's not going to be Dan Marino, but he does have a Dan Marino type release, right? That release is going to help him, especially when they put 9 guys in the box. So you put those 8 or 9 guys in the box, that release helps him to get the ball to the tight end and to the slot. He can make the throws. I just think he'll be able to, if he stays within himself, he'll be able to extend drives with his arm. And then let Jeremiah Love and Jardinian Price and the rest of the running backs just absolutely ground that game up. It's going to be a fun game.
Man,
it's going to be a fun game.
Man, Tom, I'm excited. And I hope, I don't know, man. I played this a million.
And coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, coaching. Coaching's on our side. And the whole thing from our special teams coach all the way up to Freeman. Coaching's on our side too. That's gonna play a big factor. You just got to get through the first couple series of downs, and just let the dust settle with all the hype and all their crap, and they're going to be screaming, and the television cameras are going to show the clown car full of former Miami players on the sidelines. Michael Irvin's going to be doing backflips. Who cares? Play the game.
Oh, man. Tom, I can't wait to see it. Enjoy the long day of football tomorrow before we get into our game. I'll talk to you before the game off air.
Okay, guys. God bless. Go Irish.
Have a good one. Oh, that's a good man. That's a Chicago man. That's what that is. 724. Give me some more. Welcome to the show.
Going on, John? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I am to the point where my brain is fried and trying to analyze and roadmap this thing out. I'm just ready to see what it's going to be at this point.
Me too. We keep talking about, I'll get you my prediction, but we keep talking about data. I keep hearing you say you just want to see data. Just looking at the data we have right now on CJ Carr, do you think that he is unflappable or scared straight? I cannot get a read on this kid in his interviews. I keep hearing how he's a competitor and he's really composed, but in some of these interviews, I'm like, is this kid a stone cold killer or he's about to wet the bed.
I have no idea.
Do you have that dilemma?
I have no idea. Nobody has any idea. No one has any idea, man. Like, that's what the big, like, reveal is going to be, is finding out how he's going to handle and navigate this moment. And I don't think anybody knows. And I don't know what to think. And the thing is, man, people keep sending me clips of him throwing as a recruit or in blue and gold, the good throw. How can you be nervous? Look at this throw. None of that replicates what this moment's going to be. That doesn't make me feel any better about any of it. I don't have physical questions about Carr. I have emotional and mental questions about handling this moment. That is different. I know we can make all the throws. It's how are you going to handle the pressure of this chaos?
I'm leaning more on the side of I think that he's a stone cold killer when it gets into these moments. I think that's my head speaking, not my heart. But when I watch him and the way he moves, and I can see it in his eyes, I think I'm leaning more to he's going to be fine. And that kind of segues into my score prediction. I feel like you're going to see a first 6 possessions, so 3 Notre Dame, 3 Miami. I think it's just going to be kind of a stalemate. Everyone's going to be settling in. But I do think that I hate giving score predictions because I don't want to. I've always called Notre Dame to my friends as the abusive boyfriend that buys you flowers and then lets you down, buys you flowers and lets you down.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the Freeman era is going to be like that. And so I think that you're going to see there's going to be a point in the second quarter where it's like, oh, these corners, these linebackers, and like these edge rushers are going to be noticed by the whole country as an elite defense, and it's going to become clear. I just can't trust these Miami receivers. Like, who's there? There's no one there. It's somewhat like I don't know if you watched the Nebraska game last night, but Raiola is extremely talented, but he's got no one to throw it to. And I think that's going to be similar with Beck. I think Beck's a great quarterback, but I don't think he's going to have the help to have this incredible season that a lot of people are saying he can have. So I think that there's a point in Sunday's game where it's, okay, this Notre Dame defense is absolutely elite, and all Carr will have to do is just drive the ship. And I think that the storyline on Monday morning is Notre Dame proves it's legit and it's dominant. I'd say 28-17, something around there, but it won't be like a close. It will never feel like Miami had a chance. That's
I like it, man. I love the prediction, and I appreciate you jumping in after a long off season, man. Anything else? Thanks for joining.
No, I would just say one more thing is the coaching is what really gets me to that conclusion. Is I think we have an elite staff, and I don't think I've seen Cristobal do anything elite outside of going into the shoe and beating Ohio State with Oregon. But I haven't seen him do anything with Miami. I have no reason to believe. When I'm torn on a game, I go down to the coaching staff, and we are clearly the much better coaching staff.
Yeah, it's a good point and a good call, man. Hey, enjoy all the good games Saturday before our Sunday, and be in touch. Call again.
Thanks, man. You too, John.
Have a good one. I'm telling you what, we're doing pretty good on the radio discipline here. Everybody's been right at 5 minutes or a little before. We're doing really good. $5 holler, bitten by the party animal. I hope Herb Street's deal with the devil has him on game day till he's 90. 34 more years, Kurt. Telling you. Ever since I saw on Twitter during a TV timeout on game day, it was somewhere chilly in November, and he made the intern rub his little footsies take his shoes off and rub his little footsies under the desk so he could be warm during a TV timeout in front of all those people there for game day. He kicks his shoes off and has some slave intern rubbing his nasty hoofs to keep him warm. I don't like the guy. You got too big, too much of an ego. Never in a million years would I do that. Totally rubbed me the wrong way. And you guys already know how I feel about guys' feet. Nobody should ever see them. If you're in a pool, a beach, or a boat, Other than that, no one should ever see a guy's feet. I'm a believer in that. So all of that makes me disgusted. I just can't handle it. I can't handle it at all. So he's on my crap list for that one, doing that to that intern. I just think it was embarrassing, and I don't like it. Ryan Roberts interviewed Mark Edwards yesterday. He said this is the deepest Notre Dame team he has seen since their era, and it's not close. I totally 100% agree with that. And that is a part of my prediction for the game, is that the Notre Dame culture they've developed and the depth around the program you've been working on for 3 years, this is where you start to get the payoff for all that hard work. Bring that quarterback along with your defense and the run game and all that. $5 hour from the rotate. I'm late. Did you see the season tickets for Miami are cheaper than the tickets just for this game? It's unbelievable, man. They're all going to show up for one game, and this is the one. $10 hour from the plumber, XRP Plumbing. Do you guys realize you have not won in Miami in 2 decades? Well, no, because we won in Miami 6 months ago. So number one is no. If you're going to be more specific and say against Miami, that is fair. But I will ask, how much relevance does all of that stuff in previous decades have to this specific game? If you want to argue weather, like humidity in the travel, and it's hard to go down there and play, that certainly applies throughout the decades. But anything else, even going up to 2017, look what happened last time. You don't have Brian Kelly there coaching scared and being scared. It's a totally different world. So I understand that's like a thing you tweet about or you talk about. Notre Dame hasn't won there in 3 or 4 decades or whatever. I just don't see the relevance to any of that with the dynamic that's going on Sunday night. Even 17, it's a whole different program with different leadership, and I don't think this group's going to be too scared to take the field because somebody threw a bottle of alcohol at the window of the bus, and then we were too scared to go play football. Instead of getting mad about that and going to beat them, you caved and got all scared? Come on, man. That's some Brian Kelly-ness right there. That's some Brian Kelly-ness right there. I bet John wears toe rings. Oh, my God, that's funny stuff. Oh, let's get my main man Martinez so we can get back to work. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, John.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm clear.
Yep.
I'm clear?
Yep.
All right. Hey, no. Hey. But real quick, Karen, I'll get to the point because I know my homeboy Omar's in here timing us. Hey, so yesterday, so 6 months ago, like I said, we moved down south. New company, new life, started a new life down here in San Utah. Left my house. So my brother, God bless him, okay, and so I rented the house. And anyways, yesterday, tell us right before we get off work, hey, we're going to go down and have my foreman says, he said, hey, we're going to go down and have my brother. And I said, for what? And he goes, I guess the owner wants us to help him. I said, you guys already got 2 lift operators and a pusher over there. What do you need me over there for? He goes, no, yeah. I told him, homie, I said, no. I said, I'm not going down there. I said, you know what? Because I'm just going to go down there and show you people how to work. Hey, it's a new day. The Golden Dome. All this, they haven't won since 1966 shit. Guess what? The Irish are here. They're coming. They're here. You're not going to know what to do. Guess what? Like I told my foreman yesterday, you're going to go down there, man, and show your people how to work. The Canes are going to get worked. 24-10.
I like that.
24-10. That's my prediction.
I like it.
That's my prediction, John.
I was wondering how you were going to like combine all this, and you did with the work, and they're going to get worked. I like it.
Yeah, Johnny, like I said, there's a method behind my madness. And the reason why, too, because like how the first caller said, I love that guy. He's really always analytical. He's really with the numbers. But then I'll get at it, John. The reason why, although, yeah, they're DBs and that we can compare all these things, but let's compare, like I said, in 30 years, we won last year's season, but we won 2 major bowls that we haven't done in 30 years in a week span. We have the coach. We have the coach who's got the best winning percentage against top 10 teams in his first so many years. We got the number 1 Notre Dame coach who won the most games in a season. You know what I'm saying? And not only, and he's a defensive mind. Okay. And then when he brings Ash, okay, from championship pedigree, from the one coach that's been able to go to different conferences other than Nick Saban. No, Nick Saban couldn't do it, which is my Urban Meyer, who flew with Mountain West and won a big bowl when he got to Utah. Down to the wannabe tough guy, patty cake, dog shit, SEC, 2-team having only SEC. And then he goes into the Big Ten, who's similar behind it, and wins national titles, okay? Not only that, we got three guys that have been there. Mickens, my boy Al Washington, and Max Bola.
I like that.
Hey, emotion can only go so far, Johnny, and then comes coaching. And our coaches are just that much better than yours. We're going to go down there and shove it right up their ass. Johnny, I'm going up to spend the weekend with my girlfriend who's an SEC grad. We're going to watch the game together. She's all about Notre Dame, you know what I mean, because of her man. Hey, Johnny, I love you guys. Onward, Notre Dame.
Have a good one, man. I love his energy. Oh, that's great. 559 on the line. We're doing back-to-backs here. What are we going to get? What's up?
What's up, John? How's it going, guys? How's everybody doing?
Hey, it's good to
Seems
hear
like
from you, man.
everybody's ready for this.
Dude, it's good to hear from you. I feel like I haven't heard from you lately. It's good. I'm glad you called.
Yeah, John. Give me a second. Yeah, John, I've been, as a foreman, you got a lot of responsibilities out here. So I've listened to your show. I've been hearing everybody out. I've been hearing the anxiety, the excitement, the nervousness, the questions, and everything. And to be honest with you, John, I told you a long time ago, I'm very confident in this Notre Dame team. I've been confident with them since the moment that we hired the right person for the job. We have something special. We have something unique. We have something beautiful. And if you don't see that, and if y'all don't know that, you guys don't know what a real coach looks like. We got this team. We got him, and we got this Notre Dame team. And I'm asking everybody that's going to be out there in Miami, don't be showing up in the green. Show up in blue and gold. We ain't going to make their stadium look like their home field advantage. We're going to show them this is Notre Dame's advantage. This is Notre Dame. This is who we are. This is who we built. And this is who we're becoming, the next national championship team.
I like it. I knew you were building it up.
Oh, John, I've been building up. I've been waiting for this moment. And this is what the thing about what's about to happen. This is 4 quarters of Notre Dame football. Smash mouth, Uggies with Uggies, big boys up front, smashing that ball and using Jeremiah Love to his strengths at all levels. And we're going to run this ball down their throat, and we're going to get a play action fake and catch them on surprise. And the final score is going to be 31-6.
Ooh.
Notre Dame wins, my boys. Enjoy the moment, my guys, because this is our moment. This is what we've been building up. This is what we've been wanting for. We need to go show them that this is Notre Dame. This is who we are.
Man, I like it. I like it a lot, man. Anything else, my friend? Thanks for touching base.
Nah, John. Again, guys, I love this community, John. I love this community so much. You guys have done a lot for me personally. A lot. You know what I mean? And you too, my boy. What's the beauty about your show, John? I've told you before. What's beauty about your show, John? That you're genuine, my boy. You're a genuine person with a good heart and good intentions for the Notre Dame community. You know, you give us an opportunity to call and be something that we've never been, you know. Let us speak what we say inside our closed doors, inside our rooms, inside our TVs and stuff like that. Nobody's able to hear how much love that Notre Dame does have the passion that the people have for this university and for this football team. You have created that. And you know what?
You.
Yeah, I'm noticing you too, bro. You're trying to go corporate on me, my boy. Don't let these leeches come leeching on you, my boy, because you built this. This is John Kennedy's show, and I want everybody to know you built this, my boy. You did. And I love you, and I love everybody in this community, and don't let no one take advantage of you, John, because I got your back 110, and I'm the type of Notre Dame fan that I go 0 to 100 real quick with Notre Dame land. Here we go, guys. Go kick some Miami ass now.
I love it, man. I love it. Hey, enjoy all the big games tomorrow, and then look forward to Sunday, my friend. Thank you. All right. I got to tell you, should I be a little concerned because we didn't get the ultimate, like, pop off. I can't be the only one that was waiting, because when he starts quiet, usually that means we're going literally 0 to 100. He never really got up to 100. I wonder if he's at like a work thing where you can't do it. I kept kind of like, doing one of these where you're like, because the lower he talks, the more you're ready for it to explode. Oh, man, that's funny. 918, we haven't talked to you in almost a full year. What's going on?
Hey, how you guys doing?
What's going on?
Hey, John, this is Mike in Oklahoma. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just ready to get this football going. What's on your mind?
Yeah, it's been a while since we talked. Just a real quick thing here before I get into the game. Your partner that you had on there the other day, Coop, for Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but I guess I got him a little riled up the other day. So he and I had a little back and forth yesterday on Twitter. It was kind of interesting and amusing, but as a lot of your listeners who are on Twitter and listen to your show and take in everything that you do, I know they watched it, and we've all seen, a variety of these guys coming at us like we've never seen before. I've never seen anything like it since last year, like what we've had with the Indiana group. But
yeah, just completely, they go from 0 to nothing. They have no presence. They're not interested at all. And then Notre Dame shows up, and all of a sudden they all act like they care every minute their whole life. It's very disingenuous.
Yeah, and as a lot of people have pointed out, what have you got to go on? And I'll keep it just within this time frame. Let's just go back to last year. Let's not go back to the 80s, the 90s, 2000s. The last time that we were there against Miami, they beat us. Let's stick with what these two teams are made up of this year. And you look at what Miami had last year and look at what Notre Dame had last year. For me, for our Irish, I don't think we've dropped off a whole heck of a lot. In fact, I think we've upticked in a lot of areas. Maybe not the quarterback, but I think we've upticked, obviously, in our defensive backfield, our linebackers, and our defensive line.
See, that's what I was going to say, too. That's what I was going to say, too. That's where I get stuck in this, because I feel like a lot of those position groups have more depth and talent now, but the quarterback inexperience can negate that, because it's just so important what the quarterback does. That's where I'm getting stuck in between on this.
Well, and here's what can take all that away from what we're all wondering and what Miami's fan base is quote unquote licking their chops about with an inexperienced quarterback. Our team has enough depth. We have a good enough running game. We have a good enough passing game with our receivers. Maybe not so much CJ just yet, but the depth overall is going to take a lot of that away from him. We're not going to have him play like Riley Leonard. We're not going to have him throw it around like Jimmy Clausen. In these first couple of games, we just need him to do one thing, and that's not to lose the game. And I think our staff is experienced enough that they put that type of a game plan in there. They're going to give him enough that he can handle and manage. They're not going to ask him to do a whole lot. And I think a lot of people have probably expressed that. You go to the other side of the ball. Let's look at Carson Beck. When that guy has faith, and I believe the stat is something like a top 50 or better defense, he has struggled mightily. He's not only struggled as a Georgia quarterback, but he's struggled on a Georgia football team that was winning football games. And this defense is going to be something that he hasn't faced in quite a while. He didn't get to face it last year, and the quarterback that did face us last year, everybody saw what happened there. Penn State saw it, Indiana saw it, Georgia saw it. And I think that's what he's going to see again this coming Sunday. I think he's going to have a defensive backfield that he's going to struggle with to throw the ball downfield. They're going to have to use their running game, and I think that's where we're going to capitalize. We're going to keep this a tight fight, in a small box, and this is where we'll have an advantage, because one area that nobody is really, really talking about in this game is our linebackers. Snead, Bowen, KVA, Osbury, that group right there is going to be the telltale for this game on why we are going to win this game convincingly, in my mind.
Man, I like the roadmap. I'm just ready to see it. I'm just ready to get the data, man. I need to see it. I've been thinking of it every which way from Sunday and literally to Sunday. And I'm just ready to get the information. I'm ready to see what level we're working out at. But I'm a believer Notre Dame's culture and the parts of this program. Dude, John doesn't know Goolsby's number. Bro, who knows people's numbers anymore? You get them one time program in your phone. You never look at the actual number ever again. What are you guys talking about? That's completely normal. I got 3 402s and it doesn't say Mike Goolsby. So I got to figure out which 402 is him. Give me a break. Sorry, caller.
That's okay. That's okay. Hey, so I'm not much of a prediction guy. I'll leave that to some of the stuff that I put out on Twitter. But if I'm gonna predict, it's going to be a sluggish start, and I don't care about the weather so much. I mean, as long as it's not pouring down rain, and neither of the teams can throw the football. If it's just a moderate, down. Little bit of a rain, like a mist or drizzle or whatever, and it goes away, and it's a damp field, and all things are equal for both teams. I think what will happen is I think we'll start out slow a little bit, and then by the end of the second quarter, I think we'll start to separate ourselves. And nobody has predicted a big score separation in this game. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to say that this Notre Dame team is going to start capitalizing with this game from where we left off last year. I think there's a lot of ill feelings on how that game went down. We were literally one play away from coming in a position where we could have tied Ohio State and possibly took it in overtime. And I think this team, I think Marcus has looked back on this, Jeremiah's looked back on this, the whole defense. I think everybody has looked on this team last year and how that game ended and said, we have unfinished business, as the motto goes.
I like it.
And I think they're going to pick up from where they left off. It's going to be a slow start. They're going to separate in the second half, and I'm going to go ahead and call for a runaway. I'm going to say we get the score to at least the high 30s, maybe even the 40s, and we hold Miami to under 20.
Ooh,
so let's go. Let's just say 40 to 14.
Oh, baby, I like it. This is exciting. Call me back after. We'll see how accurate you are. Thanks a lot. All right. It's let's bring up I don't know why I got so many calls from Omaha and Lincoln, Nebraska today. The 402s filling it up. What's going on, Mike? I think this is you. There we go. What's
John,
up?
you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry, man. Popular Notre Dame must be popular in Nebraska all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's that's good. But no, in your defense, yeah, I mean, I've been with my fiance for damn near 10 years. I couldn't tell you what her phone number is. I might know the first 3 digits. So yes, in your defense.
Yeah, you program it. The last number I remember was my home number at our house growing up before cell phones.
That's right. That's right. So no, real quick, John, just to get in and get out. Something first of all, it's gonna be the longest 3 days of our lives, right? It's gonna be a long Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Something we've been talking about for a couple, 2, 3, 4 years now is like Notre Dame needs star power, right? Going back to like our youth, our childhood, the Ricky Waters, famously, the Rocket Ishmaels, et cetera, real star power. The quarterback battle's taken a ton of shine, right? A ton of the spotlight. This being the game that it is, the magnitude that it is, it's like isolated Sunday night. Everybody in the gosh darn country's watching this thing. I think we come out of this thing. Jeremiah Love's a full-fledged star.
Ooh.
Like Ashton Genty. I mean, I'm just telling you. When I watched that Nebraska game, I'll never bet another nickel on Nebraska ever again. If I do, somebody please stop me. I'm watching Dylan Raiola. He goes like 33 for 45 for 240 and 2 touchdowns. You know, not very exciting, right? He's not pushing the ball. He's just doing the right thing. And I'm like, that's what you're going to expect out of Carr. You know, I think we're making too much of what to expect from the quarterback. Denbrock said as much in the press conference. I'm going to ease him into this thing, ostensibly is what he said. But like, it's just like we have literally one of the best players in the country at tailback. It's incredible. And it's just like, I just can't wait to see it. And the last thing, John, the previous callers talking about the linebackers, these Miami people have no idea the type of speed they're about to see. Yeah. They have no concept. They don't do the research. They're lazy fans. Jalen Sneed, he's a 4.4 guy, right? He might be faster than their starting tailback, right? I mean, I'd bet you $20. They have no idea what they're about to see. They have no concept. I'm telling you, and I like Luis's score prediction, 24-10. I don't know if they even score a real touchdown, maybe a couple field goals. I'm jumping out, John. I don't even want discourse with you. I'm already fired up at whatever it is, 10 a.m. Friday morning.
I like it.
Bet the under, folks. Bet the under. John, I love you. I'll see you when I see you.
We'll see you. Have a good one, Mike. Oh, man. Dude, he is confident. The captain is confident. I like it very much. I like that energy in Mike's voice, man. I absolutely love it. Oh, this is beautiful. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing here in Notre Dame land. Oh, boy. All right, second promo read. Then we'll get right into the last bank of calls, and we'll round this thing out. Like me, you've seen inflation eat away at your precious savings and watch the markets go unpredictably wild. This made me look into other ways to gain stable wealth over time. With that in mind, through the Always Irish community, I've been introduced to 7K Metals. 7K is helping everyday people like you and I gain access to real gold and silver, not stocks or paper promises, tangible assets. I've been able to consistently build a portfolio of gold and silver month after month without having to be an expert at all. You can simply sign up and start adding gold and silver to your portfolio every month, which is exactly what I do. I set it up, let it run, and have a little fun. It's about creating stable wealth through gold and silver. I believe in 7K so much, I decided to join as a full member. You get education, wholesale pricing that cannot be beat, easy purchasing, and cash outs with the Sound Money wallet. So if you're ready to take control of your financial future, visit my personal website, alwaysirishgold.com, via the link in the description or the QR code on the screen. You trust me, I trust 7K. Why not join today? This is not a membership, it's a movement. Silver and gold, 24 karat magic in the dome. All right, I'm done, I promise. I'm going to do it every time, but I'm just get used to it because I'm going to do it every time. Adam, what's going on in California?
Just fired up, my friend. Fired up. I am just enjoying just listening to everybody, just in their different takes, their different ideas, just all the different points of view on what they're going to be looking for during this game, whether it's linebackers, defense, offense. I mean, the whole thing. I love the idea of the special teams as well. I mean, it's just everybody's fired up. I mean, listen to Goolsby. Like, that was just a perfect, genuine conversation of just him walking the dog or doing whatever he's doing and literally just talking about it and getting fired up. And then we are literally hours away. I'm just pumped.
Yeah, dude, I've thought of this every which way, from just backwards and forwards. What could go right? What could go wrong? Like, I'm just about at the end of that road, and I just need to see it. And I believe in this program and this team and what they built, but they got to prove it on the scoreboard where it matters. It doesn't matter in my article and my YouTube and my Patreon. It doesn't matter there. It's got to matter on that scoreboard, that it matches where I think this program's at.
And I think the majority of us truly believe that they will, that they are going to prove us correct in all the different thoughts that we've had in the offseason of how good this team is or can be. It's all going to come to fruition. It's going to happen. I don't know. I've been very nervous going into certain games throughout the decades, and this is one that I'm not that nervous of. I actually have the different mindset right now. And I think it's a lot of us have morphed into it because of the way that Marcus Freeman has led this team and the way he's led this organization. And yes, WPP, I am going to say it because of the culture that he has established. And I'm giving a shout out to my boy WPP down in Florida, because he did say, well, what's about culture and all this on the last show. The deal is that whether you were Miami back in 2000 or in the 90s or 80s or whenever, they had established a culture that was one that was basically intimidation. We are going to come in here, we're going to step on your throats, and we're going to go ahead and take over. And that's what those teams did. And that was their type of culture. Our culture right now is we have something that we believe in one another. And that is stronger than most because of the fact that when the times come tough, and they could become tough at some point in this season, whether it's during the regular season, playoffs, or whatever, you have to be able to rely on the people that are to your left and right. You have to. And you have to believe in them. And to that point, you talked about the defense, about the different faces that they're going to have out there. They haven't had the time to build the continuity. They have not had the time to build up that kind of cohesion as a unit to understand who's going where and the different reads and being able to communicate without talking on the football field. And that is a key point. And I believe that our team, because of the run that we had last year and everything that we built up over the last 3 years, is now going to just be gelling together. Carr is that last piece. It's the last piece. And he will, if everything is kind of projected the way it is, he will excel and he will come to become who he is destined to be, which is going to be that quarterback that takes us to the championship and win it. But it's going to take a little bit of time. I kind of feel the same way as Goolsby. Are we looking for him to go blow 400 yards and 5 touchdowns? Hey, that'd be fantastic. But do we need him to do that? No. All he needs to do is take care of the ball, take a couple chances downfield when it's opportune time, and hit that tight end and hit the running backs and let the offensive line bully it up. And just put a stamp on this. This is our time to send the message to the rest of the college football world. I'm not looking for a 27-21 victory. And I'm not expecting a 63-0, but I'm expecting a statement win. I want to see something that you go down there, hostile environment, quote unquote, their fan base is rabid, whatever. They're weak. You're only weak. And the reason why is because you show up for 1 or maybe 2 games a year and that's it. Notre Dame fans show up for every single game. Doesn't matter what the weather is. You show up for spring games. Doesn't matter what the weather is. That's what we do. That's how we roll. That's why you have the best podcast on college football in the land, John, is because of the genuineness and the teamwork that you put in and this fan base that has come in to help bolster this together. So make the statement win. And when you get that lead, do not let up. Step on their throats and take it down and end it.
I like it, man. I really appreciate you, Ben. You are one of the engines that drove us through the summer dog days, man. I appreciated those calls, and we were able to take a deep dive when this thing was many months away, and now it's almost here. And we're going to get the answers to the questions we seek in a couple short days. Listen, man, enjoy the weekend. Enjoy all the football tomorrow till our stress kicks in, and then give me a call after the game, good or bad, okay?
100%. I will be online with you, my man. Go Irish.
I appreciate it, man. That guy called all summer. All right. Crying Belly wants to come in here. I am going to say this. Somebody put up a good point about like Notre Dame people emotionally hedging. You do see this. This is a real psychological phenomenon. When it's your job to do fan-based stuff every day of your life, you find these trends. There are a lot of people that love Notre Dame, live and die with Notre Dame. But before these big moments, they convince themselves of the worst possible outcome just as an emotional protector. It's like expect bad things to happen, set your bar there rather than think we're awesome and realize we're not and be super disappointed. There's some people that will try and convince themselves of bad things just to emotionally like balance themselves out. And I've been there before, and I do understand that a lot. XRP keeps putting in the Miami fan, keeps on mentioning all the decades Notre Dame has failed to beat Miami down in Miami. I'm just saying, I don't think it's all that relevant to this. I just don't think it's all that relevant to this. Even the most recent one in 17 isn't relevant to this. Things 30 or 40 years ago are not relevant to what's going on Sunday. But if it makes you feel better, roll with it. I think this is Crying Belly, and we'll see what WPP says. Crying, is this you?
John? Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, dude?
It's going great. I'm excited for football to be back. What's up?
So I'm calling to commemorate the fact that the season starts tomorrow.
and I think the Irish are going to win a natty this year. I'm bought in 100%.
Come on.
Yeah, dude.
That
I'm
is
telling
not,
you.
that doesn't seem like you. Are you trolling? Is this a troll job? That's not what we were expecting.
No, this is a real crying belly. And I say this because this is the first year of Marcus Freeman being the head coach where there is a semblance of continuity on offense.
Even without the quarterback having that.
Yeah, well, he's practiced for multiple years under Denbrock now.
Yeah, man, but I mean, I think it's, see, that continuity is hard, man. Like, because the quarterback's the biggest part.
Yeah. Well, I think DJ has an ability. You go back and watch the spring game. He's converting a 3rd and 18 in a pass. How many times did we see that last year?
Yeah. And then, okay, so how much of your belief in this offense has to do with the offensive line? Because to me, it all starts there, right? Like being able to control the line of scrimmage, move the pile. You got to get the run game going to open up the pass game, give Carr time. How much belief do you have in Rudolph and his unit, so to speak?
I think Rudolph's units are especially good at run blocking. We saw that last year. And in fact, I think they gel pretty quickly compared to even Harry Heastand's line. I was impressed going back to that Navy game in 2023, how immediately we were just ripping off yards on the ground. So I think we'll be okay in terms of the ground game from the jump. I do worry about pass protection.
Yeah.
Especially with some new guys on the interior. But I'm serious, man. I'm bought into Freeman. I think he has a lot to prove this year. I mean, my biggest thing was last year Al Golden and Riley Leonard, or was it Marcus Freeman?
Yeah. Yeah. It's and then flip it over to the other side of the ball. I got a lot of faith in the defensive talent. Is that dangerous for me? Like, without seeing Ash running this all on the field yet in a real game, but I have a lot of belief in that defense and the talent. I think they're younger in some spots, but deeper and more athletic. How much do you trust the Notre Dame defense without seeing Ash running it yet in a real game?
I think there's more questions on the defense than we care to admit, which is why I think the offense is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting at the beginning of the season. Like the corners, Gray and Moore are great, but behind them, who is there? Those guys are going to have to play a crazy amount of snaps in Florida. And you even think about how that bit Notre Dame in the butt last year in the playoffs with Gray. I mean, he was just gassed against USC because he had to take all those reps. So I do think the secondary, for as good as the starters are, there are some questions. The loss of Xavier Watts, you have to see that.
Yeah.
We're going to, at some point, we're going to miss Xavier Watts. Let's just hope it's not against Miami and it's against, Purdue or something.
Yeah. Man, this is such a big moment. It feels like it weighs more than one game weighs because of everything involved practically and perceptually. Your playoff standing, how people feel about Carr, the 2-week layoff that's either going to be hell or heaven, depending on how this goes. It feels like it weighs out bigger than one game, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to learn a lot about Freeman this year in the fact that, like I said, no Riley Leonard or Al Golden. We're not, relying on a quarterback with tons of experience, like with Hartman and Leonard. And they're also, can Marcus properly develop a young quarterback? I worry about him being too conservative. We say Marcus learns his lessons really quick. I disagree. I think he repeated the Marshall mistake multiple times. He lost to Marshall after Ohio State. That was a hangover game. He lost to Stanford after the game in Vegas against BYU. NIU after Texas A&M. I want to make sure he doesn't make that mistake again.
Yeah.
I don't think that's completely out of his DNA. Then you listen to him, and I don't want to read too much into the quarterback competition, but did he really like Kenny because he was a check down guy? And is he going to hold back CJ to the point where he loses that gunslinger in him. That's what I worry about with Freeman.
It's a really, I've thought about this. I've thought about this because when you have a guy like Carr with his gifts and his skill set, you cannot make that guy a glorified game manager, because then it's pointless to have a guy with his skill set. But also, he's young, and you're worried about him having too many guts for the glory and throwing it and taking chances and putting it into windows that aren't really open, but he thinks he could get it in there. So how do you balance letting him do what his best natural gifts are, but not crossing the line into being reckless early in your career? That is a big part of this I'm looking at. I'm glad you brought it up.
Well, think about what the problem with Notre Dame quarterbacks has been recently. It's sort of the unwillingness to make the throw. And I think CJ has a very strong will to try to fit it in there, whereas Ian Book would just not pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I mean, Goolsby talks about it
and
a
even
lot.
Leonard,
And
you looked at the film, there were sometimes
Leonard
couldn't pull the trigger. Yeah.
So I just hope Freeman defers to Denbrock, because I do think Denbrock wants an aggressive thrower. I hope he defers to Denbrock on offense with what we need out of that position. And I hope that there's not this, let the defense dictate what we do on offense mentality that we had before some of those ugly games last year against Miami, where we scored 28 points only against Miami. That's crazy. So we can't, we have to bring the fight to him. We got to be aggressive. I'm interested to see how Marcus does this. I am bought in though. I'm leaning towards he gets it at this point. I think the first few years he had to figure it out because he was just so used to the defensive side, and he was burned that first year with Pine and Buckner. But yeah, I do hope he defers to the offensive coaches on this. It's really important to think about the continuity that he has on offense this year with a quarterback who was under Denbrock for second year here. And then we have Denbrock as a repeat coordinator. Gino's back. Mike Brown is back. I think, Chancey had 2 years. Rudolph's back again. Like, he's kept his staff together very, very well. And I think it's going to look better, and it's going to have to do some of the heavy lifting at the beginning of this season. I do think the defense, I think the talent is good. I just think there's a bunch of names where I get excited about the names, but there's nothing on tape to make me excited. We get excited about Kingston and everything, but how productive was he last year?
Yeah, man.
We get excited about some of these linemen. I mean, Jason Onye, he was on a milk carton for 2 years now. We've talked so much about him, but now we're expecting him to, be the flashiest guy. I don't know.
We'll see.
So,
we're going to see. Hey, really good call. I'm glad you jumped in the mix. I think you surprised people. It isn't what people were expecting.
All right, man. See ya.
Have a good one. Thanks a lot. It's funny. It kind of reminds me when I switched over to show my face. Show your face. We want to see your face. Who said that? You won't see John's face? When I did from audio to video and people were like, the way you were yelling and banging, I thought you would look a lot more intimidating. I think people were expecting him to troll or like crap on Notre Dame, and then he really didn't, and he sounded young. WPP and then 402 coming up. WPP, this is your weekend, brother.
Hey, John, it's Pat from West Palm. Thanks for taking the call.
No problem, man. So how are you doing, man? We're a couple days away, and I just want to know where your mind and your heart is at.
You got really stupid people in your chat. I gotta turn it off. I didn't think your chat could get any dumber, but you have these Canes fans who flooded in. I'll move on. They're just really stupid people.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Patreon has none of them.
Yeah.
Because the imbeciles, they can't come up with the 67 cents a day. And so Patreon, I recommend to anybody with a sufficiently high IQ to the imbeciles in the chat, please stay where you are. You're going to just ruin Patreon if you come on Patreon. Patreon's got good stuff, but it's for smarter people than you. Not you, John. I'm talking to people,
I
people in
follow.
the chat.
I follow.
It's good stuff. Patreon's got good stuff, but it's not for everybody. And for stupid people, please stay where you are. I'm sorry, John, if that cost you $1 or $2, but when the imbeciles flood on Patreon, it'll ruin it for everybody. But
Yeah.
let me just move on.
Okay.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about culture. Because to me, that's a bunch of nonsense. I think that either you have good players and good coaches or you don't. And culture is this undefined concept. It doesn't really mean anything. It's kind of like when you say, oh, that guy, he's an alpha. What the hell does that mean? Someone's an alpha. Either someone's good at what they do or they're not.
I do get
Like,
the
for
argument,
example,
Pat. I do get the argument. It's like, well, if a team's winning, they have good culture. And if a team's losing, they must have bad culture, right? Like I do,
That's precisely
I
right.
understand how that works both ways. Or like this cloud thing above everything that's like kind of amorphous, or is it just if things are going good, you got a good culture, and if it ain't, you got a bad culture?
That's right, John. That's right. It's like people used to call Al Golden an alpha. Was he an alpha when he coached the Canes 15 years ago and he got laughed out of town? You know what I mean? It's like either you have success or you don't.
Yeah.
And if you have success, people say, oh, that guy's an alpha. I mean, look at Bill Gates. If somebody showed you a picture of Bill Gates and you didn't know who he was, you'd say, wow, he doesn't really look like an alpha to me. But the guy's the most powerful guy in the world. You know what I mean? It's like because these amorphous concepts like culture and alphas, it's all a bunch of nonsense. It really is. If you win, like that's like by the rationale, people who say we have a better culture, does Northern Illinois have a better culture than us?
They did that day. They did that day. Right? Like for that one, for that one, they did.
Yeah. So anyway, you know, the way I look at the game, I look at things globally, John. I take a step back. And to me, this is not an undefeated Notre Dame team. In other words, we're not going to run the table. We just, with a first-year starting quarterback, that's just, you're asking too much. And so then you say to yourself, well, who are you going to drop a game to? Well, I do think the Canes are the best team on our schedule. I do think that. And you know, I've had personal conversations with a couple of former Canes players, one by accident in a cigar bar. One I went to, well, this was last week for this Canes event. I won't get into why I was invited to that.
You were doing some undercover scouting. I like it, man. I like it. Yeah, blending in with the locals.
Well, the Canes are foolish to let, you know, they're hungry for money, the Canes.
Yeah.
As is everybody. So am I, right? But the Canes are really trying to hit the whole NIL thing. And it's interesting, though, John, because the Canes, the University of Miami, it's a private school, and it's a small school. It's the size of Notre Dame. It really is. And so, you know, they got, you know, Miami cocaine money backing them up. But, you know, the feds have cracked down on that the last 20 years.
Yeah, it's not. It makes me think of Scarface. A lot's changed since the coke scene in Miami in the early 80s, right?
That's right. Let me say hello to my little friend.
Yeah.
So that business is down for the Canes. And they have some Northeastern Miami. You'll find a lot of Canes fans in New York City, actually. But they don't have the same alumni base that Notre Dame has.
Yeah.
As far as throwing the money around. So they're scaring up money. So that's a long way of saying that's how I found myself at this event. Because they would have invited a bum off the street if he'd given $5, you know. I didn't give him $1. I want to be clear about that.
Yeah.
I never give $1.
You should have charged him to be there. Do it the other way. You could pay me if I'm gonna have to mingle with you people.
Well, I paid for it in IQ points that I lost listening to the dribble coming out of the Canes' mouth. But the Canes have pulled out all the stops for this game because, like I told you a long time ago, the Canes have really circled this game on the calendar. And I get the fact that they haven't sold out the game. You know, I get that because, you know, South Florida really it's really more of a soccer state. You know, the southern part of Florida.
Yeah.
Soccer is a much bigger deal in South Florida than it is in the rest of Florida. Speaking of which, John, I saw some interview you had or some dual co-hosting thing you had a day or two ago with some guy named Coop.
Yeah.
Where did you find that guy? Because he sounds like a Knowles fan. His accent is like really deep.
He's
south,
from
and that's not
Tennessee.
changed like at all.
He's from Tennessee, so I'm not sure the Miami connection, but he's a very popular YouTuber, and we have some crossover social connections from the YouTube College Football Network, and that's how that came about.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I mean, he was wrong about a lot of stuff, but what's the point of rehashing that? Anyway, I do think that if Notre Dame is not an undefeated team, this game on Sunday is by far the most likely game we lose.
So I gotta get a prediction from you. You've been on this since Blue and Gold. When it comes down to it, are all your worries? Do you think Notre Dame overcomes them, or do you think they succumb to the hurricane and get blown off into the Atlantic?
Well, I'm going to answer it this way. What I hope for is different from what I think. Now, a lot of dumb people think they're one and the same thing. No. I hope Notre Dame whips them 48-0 so that all the underbets come in and we disgrace the Canes the way they deserve to be disgraced. Right? That's what I hope for.
Yeah.
What do I think will happen? I think the Canes beat us by a field goal, 20-17. That's what I think is going to happen.
Ooh, that
I hope I'm wrong.
hurts. Oh, that hurts, man.
You know,
Ooh.
otherwise I'm just a homer.
Yeah.
Coming in here saying the Irish are going to win every weekend. If you think Notre Dame's going to drop a game this season, I have to tell you, this is the game that's the most likely to be dropped.
Man.
It just is.
Yeah. Interesting. I
Anyway,
get it.
John, I get it. Okay.
Work. Hey, man. Hey, thanks for giving me a
for
call.
Taking the call,
hey,
man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for building up Miami the way you did. You've been the number one guy since Blue and Gold, building up the priority this game is. And everybody, you have a following now through that. So God bless you. And I want to receive a happy call from you after that game late Sunday night.
All right, man. Be good.
Have a good one. God, the best thing that could happen for all this is for us to win and WPP to call in. It would be amazing. Rick, Slick Rick. All right. Final bank of calls. We're going to go through them real quick. We got a few of them. I got some I got to do at 11. So, but if you're the remaining three, you're all going to be on. 93 Notre Dame BS. Florida State was the first game day. Corso retires tomorrow. Irish history will add another chapter. $20 from Slick Rick. Not even a Notre Dame fan. Loves the Aggies, but likes my show. God bless him for that. And then look at this. John, $20 holler. Brian, golfing picture. John, great content as always. Busy with the golf season and listening, watching from the sidelines. I'm a nervous wreck as the game approaches. Lots of cold Miller Lights in my near future. Can we get an Irish car bomb? This made me laugh too from our resident USC fan. WPP definitely has a Sherlock Holmes pipe. I don't know why that entertains me. It just does. $50 holler. TSA. Armadillo. We may lose games this year, but it won't be to Miami. The Canes are too undisciplined and it won't correct in a super big game like this. ND coaches will show they're some of the best game managers in college. 30-20 Notre Dame. Carr, 17-27. One costly red zone pick. I like that. Thanks a lot, Armadillo. $50 holler. You pay for the call-in lines, man. Let me see your scar face. Don't even talk to me, man. Don't even talk to me. I got better shit to do, man. I got to work on it's been a while since I did the Tony Montana. Don't even talk to me, man. Who put this together? Me. Oh, boy. 402. What's going on? 309 after that. We'll wrap up with 949, who's walking the streets of Miami. What's going on, 402?
Hey, John, long time no see, man. Football is back, and I can't wait, man. I'll tell you one thing right now. Caller 2 calls ago, I'm with him. I think this is a really good year for Notre Dame to win a national championship. No, I'm not spreading cheeks or trolling. I do believe that.
Man, it's okay. So it's like If you go 1-0, I got to think you're likely to go 2-0. And if you go 2-0, then I like your odds of honestly maybe going undefeated or ending with one loss and hosting a playoff game again. On the flip side, if you lose this one, man, 0-2 and 8-4 become a real thing that I don't want to have to think about.
Well, you wouldn't have to really think about it. I've been saying this all the time, up and down with Mark Freeman. The culture, everything that he built, it's going to formulate this year. I told you guys in the off season, right in the, after the season closed, like, you guys have elite problems to worry about, good problems to worry about. You guys are an elite team, and now because Marcus Freeman, he's shown Notre Dame that he can do with more with less, and he's basically been slowly but surely getting a blank check so he can get what he needs to get you guys a championship. I mean, this year, you guys do have a chance at that.
Yeah, man, it's going to be really like. That is, I got to call timeout real quick. Flanner88 with a $500 holler super chat. Go Irish beat Canes.
Oh my God.
I mean, that is like, I'm grateful for people that donate $2 or $5 or whatever. A $500 super chat, man. You just paid for a lot of call-in lines for people to be able to get in on this after the game. That means a lot to me. Hopefully you didn't mean to put $5 and you just been drinking this morning and you moved the decimal. I'm sorry about that if you did, but that is beyond generous. So thank you very, very much. Sorry, caller.
No, I get it. It's all good, man. But yeah, I want to strike on 3 points. I'm going to promise to do good this season, not to do 10-minute calls like I did last season. I am so sorry about that. But
it's hard, man. It's hard. I want to give people a time, but I feel guilty when people are waiting. It's a tough thing to balance.
Well, even though I'm a Buckeye fan, I just want to show some love and respect to a fan base that's showing me love and respect, like you. Like I understand that some of you, especially Tom Followay. I'm sorry you went through that in '95 when those asshole Buckeye fans treated you like dog water. I'm sorry. That doesn't represent what I think of what fandom should be. Tom, but you're always welcome no matter where. I just want to make you. But anyways, show some love and respect. You're very welcoming, so I want to get on some points before, I expire my time. One, you guys are in the same situation every single year. This is, last 2 seasons, you had Sam Bradford and Riley Leonard, great quarterbacks, and every single time it's just getting better and better. Not uncharted territory. You guys have a dual running back threat, and the only one contemporary to that, it would be Penn State. They got K-Tron now and Nick Singleton, and both were, But anyways, this is defense looks stout. Your defense is going to keep you guys in the game, absolutely. But the offense, it's going to take a moment for the new quarterback to click with the new system with Notre Dame, and I wouldn't really worry about it too much. Again, the offense that was there last year. They're used to new situations with a new quarterback, so I wouldn't worry about that. It's business as usual. 2, the first 4 weeks is your meat of the schedule. You guys get past through that, you're really increasing the odds of you guys winning out, running the table, and going to the playoffs and compete for a national championship. I do think you guys are going to compete for a national championship. Everything is right for that to happen.
Man, I appreciate that. Now give me a quick, with your 30 seconds left, give me the prediction for your game tomorrow.
I don't know. It's early in the season, first games. I don't like predictions because you don't know the measure of the football team, But I hope you guys beat the holy hell out of the Miami Hurricanes. I want Notre Dame to win. I got my eye on you guys this whole season. I'm rooting for you guys. If you are okay with a Buckeye fan liking Notre Dame, I'll play a bandwagon fan for Notre Dame this season because I see a lot of great things for you guys. And because of you, John, and because of you and your platform and your welcoming, I'm willing to support your team this year because you guys got it all this year, and I hope to see you guys holding a golden trophy if it's not Ohio State.
Man,
good luck and God bless.
Thanks a lot, man. I'm telling you, Everybody wants us to hate all of the Ohio State people. Eric from the Ohio Pod's the nicest guy in the world. The guy that sent me the Buckeyes is a nice guy. This guy's a nice guy. I want to hate all these people too, but they're too damn nice. Jeez. They're too damn nice, except for Kent, but they're too nice. Planner, man, that is, I can't get over the generosity, man. It really is. That's amazing. I sincerely hope it's not an accident. 309, and we'll wrap it up with 949 and get a thought from the streets in Miami. What's going on, 309? What's new in Bloomington Normal?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I just want to say, been a while since I called, but I still listen during the off season. So I just want to get my call in now that we're close to the season.
Fantastic, man. Thanks for joining. It has been since winter when we last spoke. So I'm wondering how you're thinking about this build-up for Notre Dame Miami.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I mean, the few things I got written down on what to say is I really do think defense is going to win the game. I'm not super worried about the defensive tackles. Maybe they're not championship level. Heinisch is a little bit smaller, but I mean, I have enough faith in every other position. Secondary, linebacker, edge, you name it. I mean, I think this is the deepest, most talented defense we've had in a long time. And I really think defense is going to come through and win this game. And all CJ has to do, this is what I keep telling myself, all CJ has to do is make 2 big throws in this game. And I think that seals it. 2 big throws. That's all he needs.
Yeah, it's man. The roadmap for Notre Dame victory to me starts with good defense, keeping the score down, controlling, field position, keeping the score down, and then next, my mind goes to that offensive line to be able to move the pile, get the running game going, and then that'll make the passing game easier. And then from there, it'll be up to Carr to make some good decisions. Be smart and take some chances when you get favorable matchups. And remember, Mike Denbrock is a mismatch master. That is one of his strengths. That's why he makes the big bucks. I'm certain he's dialing some things up. And I want the Sasquatch tight end to be a part of it, up the seam. These wide receivers get Love and Price involved in the intermediate passing game. Let's see what we're going to get.
Right. Here's my question for you. I want your opinion on this. Is this Miami defensive line better or worse than the A&M defensive line last year?
It's worse. They do not have, A&M had 3 of those guys that were like top 10 or first round picks or whatever. And Miami has some of that, but it is not exactly at the level with as many of them as A&M at. That's my opinion. I'm not saying they're slouches, but I don't think they have what A&M had coming in.
Okay. Now my second question is: the Notre Dame offensive line better or worse than they were at A&M?
They should be better.
And I know where you're going to say
they should be better because you don't have like 4 starts going into the game, which was the narrative last year, right?
Exactly. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, Carr is going to have his chance. All Carr needs to do, he needs a 135-yard pass to Fields and maybe a 25-yard pass to Greathouse, 50-yard pass to Greathouse at some point in the game. Everything else can just go through Love, Dinkin and Duncan to Will Pauling, Raiden. That's going to win the game.
Man, that is similar to how I'm envisioning some of this as well. I could see a little 4-yard dump off to Love that turns into a 33-yard gain because there's one block and then he's hard to take down or whatever. Like, and a way to ease Carr in with some easy completions that get big chunks. Like, I think Denbrock will put Carr in a chance to succeed, but then he's got to deliver.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's the thing that I like about Denbrock is he's not going to – he will play moderately conservative, but at some point he's going to take a shot, kind of like Chip Kelly.
Yeah, that's in Denbrock's DNA. Yeah, that's in – and you know what else? Denbrock will want to show his young quarterback that he believes in him. And I do expect them to dial up a couple things, whether it's a play action, whatever it is, something. You know what else you could even do? The old act like they're going to run it and then they pitch it back to the quarterback and then he throws it. Like, I'm just saying something to dial up a little nifty to build Carr some confidence. So do you have a final score prediction?
Yeah, I'm saying 27-20 Irish.
God, I was 28-20. I was right there with you. I had 28-20 is what I ended up with.
Yeah. I think it's going to come down to I saw a really funny post the other day, and I'll leave you with this, but I saw a really funny post from the Canes fan the other day that said, well, I just don't see any generational talent on this Notre Dame team that's gonna really take over. And I'm thinking,
okay,
how do you look at Jeremiah Love and not think generational talent? How do you look at maybe not generational talent, but a first round corner as a true sophomore in Leonard Moore? Or look at, I mean, come on, like that's just ignorant. So I think that that Love's going to take over at some point. Moore could seal it with a pick. We don't have a clutch as Xavier Watts right now, but Schuler's not far behind him. Like I just have at every position such a deep team. There are no major questions, and you know for a fact that Freeman is going to have these boys locked in and ready to go for a big game. So,
oh man,
27-20.
I like your roadmap you walked through. Kind of lines up with my mapping, and now we just got to see it to be reality. Hey, thanks for jumping back in, man. It's been since February. Don't be a stranger now that football's back. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go Irish.
Have a good one. All right. 949 is going to wrap it up for us. And remember, 949 is the guy who walks around in Miami. He kind of does the street interviews in Miami. We're going to see what he thinks. Somebody wrote in the chat again. Clayton Bigsby, I'm always going to do a quote. The Rick James thing, I'm always going to do a quote. Anytime people are putting Johnny in my lunchbox at work, you know what? You're going to get Johnny in my lunchbox at work. 949 is going to wrap up the show. What a great, we got a guy in the Miami streets. What's going on, baby?
Shut up, Gary. I'll get to the streets, by the way, John. I'll get to the streets at the end. Lots to unpack here. I want to get into some specifics that a couple of other callers touched on. One is I happened to find the farm up in West Palm where the Bermuda, it's a Tipway 419 or 419 grass. And I got a good education on that. It's best for South Florida. The Miami chooses the 419 variety because it withstands the sun and it also drains pretty quickly. It's great for fast track, which favors Notre Dame because I believe it's got much more team speed than Miami. When it's wet, water is going to be an equalizer. To the weather, what's been happening, I'll give you yesterday. I'm trying to change a belt on the car in between going out to pizza joints, etc., and meeting Miami fans and a Penn State fan, which I'll touch on. Yesterday, changing the belt, had to stop 3 times within a couple hours because the downpour of rain, 3 different times. It's very likely to rain. It's been raining every day a couple of times, and it's a deluge. It's not a sprinkle. It is hurricane season.
Yeah.
The chance of rain for that day is 65%, although the highest time frame is 30%, which is at game time. So it could be wet. It could not be. Bottom line, if you're playing a game, bring a hefty trash bag to put over you so you can have some rain protection. The humidity is going to be 79% at kickoff and increase from there. So that means likely rain right before it. Dew point 74, whatever that means. But and the humidity, I think that's going to be key. If we've been putting our players in saunas, we're going to be fine. There's not going to be an advantage there. We saw that last year in Texas A&M. With regard to being out on the streets, I found a farm that was pretty incredible. The guy that kind of toured me around was his general manager, and he thinks the turf favors Notre Dame because of the team speed. So now the people, I'm in a Blaze Pizza joint, picking up my pizza, standing at the end. I've got my Notre Dame shirt on. Guy stands next to me with a Penn State hat. He didn't want to look at me.
Good.
And as He didn't say a thing, didn't look at me. As soon as he got his pizza, I said, "Hey, nice hat." He just kind of frowned and frumped and took off.
Good.
There was a lady that saw my shirt. I was holding the door for her, and had to be a Miami fan. Hold the door for her. She turns her body sideways with her back to me to slide in the door. Doesn't say thank you, etc. That was hilarious. As far as people talking about the game, there's one guy that was working on a dock that he feels it's going to be a good game. He thinks Miami's going to win, but he thinks it'll be a tough game. The other encounters have all been on Twitters, and there are a bunch of a-holes on there. I have never bookmarked as many posts or posters as I have in my entire life.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But that's
so what? All right, all of this consternation and research and everything else and street interviews. Have you come down on a final prediction?
Well, I'm going to sidestep the question a little bit, because in watching the games yesterday, today, and last week, what stood out to me is teams are killing themselves with mistakes. Boise yesterday.
Yeah.
They were, I was texting with some buddies that are high-level coaches, and we all thought the same thing, that their game planning looked to be pretty significant and could get Notre Dame trouble. And then all of a sudden they killed themselves with stupid penalties and would kill themselves with turnovers and ended up getting obliterated. I still think they're going to be okay if they can overcome that. I know if it was Marcus coaching, they'd overcome it. That's the key, I think, to the Miami game. If we can play mistake-free football, we're going to crush them. I don't know by how much, because rain could factor, pun intended, could dampen our winning margin. But I like Goolsby's thoughts on this. I think we've got far superior talent. They've got some good talent. Don't get me wrong on that. They've got some really good players, but they haven't played together. Our players have played together. They're a unit. We know the love that they have for each other, and they stood shoulder to shoulder. I'm fired up. I am interested in hearing more about tailgate if you got any information. Otherwise, I'll watch for it on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. My brother he has family stuff going on. That may or may not be a thing. So I'll have to let people know, post it if it's going to be a thing. He's got a lot going on.
Okay, I wish I had known. I'd have fallen the flag for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'll be there, so you don't have to be.
Yeah, I like that. And hey, man, if we win it, give me a call from the parking lot. Celebrate. Thank you.
I will. I'll be with everybody else there.
Beautiful. Have a good one, buddy. Oh, man. I love you guys. All right. That's going to be it for now. So we're going to have a Patreon preview that'll go out tonight. And then we'll get into Notre Dame, Miami. And the second that game ends, where to find me. So we'll be doing live chat, me and Goolsby, the whole team live chat on the Patreon for the Notre Dame game. And damn well, as soon as it's over, where you're going to find me. I do want to say thanks to everybody for being involved. Extra thanks for people here year round. That keeps us going and when there isn't football. It is great to have everybody back. God bless everybody who super chatted to help us for the calls. But Flanner88, $500 holler that's incredibly generous, and it helps us pay the bills, keep the phone lines going and all that, man. It means the world to me. Watch party tomorrow night. Maybe not. I got stuff I got to take care of here. Let's see what we're going to do. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. 200 people in here, 70 chats. On the way out, give it a thumbs up. It tells YouTube to put it in front of more people. I love you guys. Thank you, man. Enjoy whatever you can through the anxiety. Flanner, thanks again, man. Appreciate you.